Loading up PvP because I am a masochist. So you may see me just me. Oh yeah, by the way, I changed my name. Now it's blue, calm, white, bat, and then red, exe. Because why not? Because I'm a freaking Yank. But also lag. A hell of a lot of lag. Because this is multiplayer. There's no such thing as smooth multiplayer in this game. Well, actually, that's not true. I have played smooth multiplayer before. It's just really hard to achieve. And these belts. What happened? What? Oh, I see what happened. There were trolls on earlier. Still. How did this happen? Why did this transpire? That's just a hell of a lot of gross. That's what that is. Anyways, I've been memeing a lot recently, in my free time. Particularly SCP memes. Time for Snap. If you, and I'm not saying, not half the universe getting snapped. I'm talking about one neck at a time. One neck getting snapped by a very, very angry chiropractor who doesn't move when you are looking at him. If you get the reference, kudos to you. If you don't worry about it. But it's time for Snap. It's time. Actually, I'm going to say it. Snap. I gotta find a way in, and then I'll be able to wreak havoc. And the problem is, I got a total of 8 frames. Woot! Because I'm playing on on mobile, which is just fucking trash when it comes to. I can't get past. I simply can't get past their air defense. If I could get past the air defense, and I'd be golden, but I can't. Okay, this is cursed. Why? I'm gonna be honest. This is painful to look at. As a mega strat gamer, which I'm not that much of, I actually tend to frown upon mega stratting. Kind of defeats the, like, some of them, like the junction chains shit. It's not what it's intended for. Shouldn't be done. You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna... Yeah, it doesn't need to be producing. It just doesn't. Gonna be honest, it's kind of pointless. And what the fuck are you? Yeah. So, mods, which is what most of my content is. They're, for this game, they're kind of, repetitive. Is the best way I can term it. I mean, yeah, it's understandable, but they're just kind of, like, they're good. Most of the mods are really good, and I've seen some amazing ones, like Arrow Mindustry. It's not even, like, the first version isn't out of that, and it's still, like, super awesome. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, why the fuck are people like this? But, yeah, to each their own. I mean, I do suggest playing mods, because honestly, they improve the game a lot. A lot of them do change how the mechanics of the game work in very good ways, and honestly, I do suggest them. Just be careful of where you download them from, because most of the mods, if you have to unzip them, be careful, because like online safety. Don't download from an unknown source that you don't trust. Don't when you see my videos, do not be pressured to download these mods, because most of these people, they're doing it, like, yes, they're doing it for entertainment purposes, but there are certain, like, try to download it from the source where the mod is coming from. So, like, GitHub, most of those mods are trustworthy. If you can't find the Git, then don't download it. Like, that's my rule. If I can't find the Git, or if where I'm downloading it doesn't provide somewhere else, I can find the source code where I can look at it and make sure that there's nothing extraneous that looks suspicious. Which, that's the reason why I haven't downloaded some of the mods, or I disagreed with their point of view, because I am La Yank. I need to improve that. Don't feel pressured. Like, I mean, yes, currently the thing is mods. I mean, I have seen just a general decline in quality of multiplayer games, because a lot of people are more focused on mods right now. And that's fine. I mean, yes, multiplayer games are my bread and butter. They are my thing. I love them. But I am also currently the face of Mindustry Mods. Because, I mean, if you look up Mindustry Mods, well, I mean, if you just look up Mindustry, my video is featured under the mods tag. So, like, mods are my thing. I don't make them. I do, however, produce videos for them. I am a video producer. One could argue, I am the provider of modded content on Mindustry. And I have to say thank you to all my recurring viewers for that. I would not have had the willpower to do what I do without it. So, to Fondor, I think that's how you pronounce that, thank you. Because he was one of the ones who was a recurring commenter. He really, like, just kind of his presence made me feel like I should make more videos, more content. And, well, here I am, still making content. Um, I have gotten in contact with some of the modders. I'm actually now making sprites, some base template sprites, so that I can stop looking at the frickin' oh no. Alright? It's a good, like, it's a good thing for when things go wrong. But when you're trying to test out a mod, it's, or you're just, like, dabbling, it really, really is just, like, gross. But yeah, due to my presence, I have gotten a hold of certain things, that otherwise wouldn't be able to be gotten a hold of. I actually have a mod that somebody made for themselves to be playing with. This isn't me bragging, but it's just kind of like, I'm actually moving up, and it makes me feel so good, like, just to be able to say that I am, in fact, like, being able to do this as something that's slightly viable. And that's just, it's kind of odd to me, considering a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, they're kind of like, the time to rise has kind of passed. And I think I disagree with that. I think you just need to find your content. Because, like, the time to rise in Minecraft, yes. When you starting off with Minecraft, that has passed. Starting off with most indie games, that's passed. You just have to find what's growing. Because right now, Mindustry is a growing app. It's a growing game. There's a lot of people who are playing it. Or coming to it, I should say. I mean, they may not stay for very long, but they're definitely coming to the game. They're downloading it, they're opening it, they're playing it, they're seeing mods, they're wanting to know more, kind of thing, and that brings in the search traffic, which then turns into recommendation. And I think you just gotta find what people are searching for, and then post that content. I mean, yes, you can do it the hard way, because, I mean, this video is not going to be watched as much as some of my other videos. It's like most of my PvP videos and most of my, all my multiplayer videos in general, they kind of don't do as well as my modded content, simply due to the fact that they're not as popular. It's not as popular anymore. It used to be the shit. It really did. Until mods came around. I mean, there were mods before. Just, they were hard to operate, hard to get a hold of. Generally speaking, it'd be easier just to play the normal game. Or cheese. Because, I mean, there are still a lot of cheese tactics for base game. Like, there was one I saw. Like, I mean, I'm guilty of cheesing. When I first started a while ago in the summer of 2018, when I first started, there was a good while when I was playing a campaign where I cheesed it to the point where, because the custom maps weren't fully properly introduced, and you could cheese them pretty hard. Because what you could do, shut up, dog. What you could do is you could set the spawns to nothing in the custom, or it was spawns to nothing, and that would affect the campaign. And I cheesed the hell out of it because I wanted to know what was coming out. Actually, no, that wasn't 2018. That was beginning of this year. I know what I'm talking about. It's all kind of blend together. That was back in version 87, 86. That era. For the longest time, I remember distinctly when it comes to this game, I remember distinctly, no, it wasn't version 80. Wow. I just realized, like, how fast this game has, like, evolved and how much Anuk has developed this game. Because in April this year, it was back on version 67. Because that was when I posted that one. And that was back a while ago. I mean, I believe I posted a video of Desolate, sure, and that map has changed. Whew. I mean, it's still hella cheesable, but it is changed. And if you don't know what the cheese is for that map, the meta strat is Lancers. Either side, you can wall them into the spawn zone, and about a third of them will walk into the water because it's just overcrowding, and then another third will die just because, and the rest will die instantly to Lancers because there's not the largest land mech or unit that spawns in. Ooh, we're cracking through. Is a dagger. Like, it doesn't. There's none of these guys. I can't remember the name at the moment. I think they're Titans. Yeah, the highest level is Titans. And so you'll get like, I think I got the highest number that I saw was 300 units, and they were 90% daggers. So these small boys, they have a longer range than the Titans, which have flamethrowers, but God, they're shit. They're useful in hordes against things like the Duo and the Hail and the Scorch, even the Wave, and maybe the Salvo. Depends on what you put in the Salvo, because like if you put Silicon into the Salvo, handles it, no problem. And boost in water, said Salvo, but it's just no problem. They'll handle that like that. However, a Lancer, I believe the dagger is like just below the health of what the Lancer does, because the Lancer does like, yeah, I think the dagger had 120 health and the Lancer does 140, so 140 damage. So yeah, and compare that to the Wave, which does, I think, like, what, 4 damage for slag and nothing for water, nothing for cryo fluid, and nothing for oil. I mean, it does like 0.1 damage, I think. It's like something really ridiculously low. Like, they do damage, it's just mostly anti-player. Like, that's the thing about the Wave, is in a multiplayer scenario, super useful, because it can, like, all the liquids can freeze a trident in place. Even, and if it hits the javelin, you're dead, because it will slow them down to the point where you can target them properly. So yeah. When it comes to modded content, there's a lot of like small mods. I really shouldn't say small. They have there's a lot of mods with large aspirations, but none of the required input. Because, like, take the Techfish mods, for example. There's, I say mods because it's the way he does it is mod pack. Oh god, it's this map. Which, I mean, is completely fine. That's completely fine. That's completely okay. It's so that you can have certain things active and certain things not active. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, And his biggest thing is he has made an amazing production mod for getting a super overpowered. Well, I shouldn't say overpowered, considering what it costs to get to and the amount of time it takes to get to. Nearly overpowered thing. That literally requires you to, like, it is called the orbital platform, and it's really well balanced. Just the problem is that he doesn't have any sprites done. He doesn't have sprites done, and to be honest, he's he's taking a break right now for school, which I should probably do, but I don't care as much. But I have a lot of respect for him because he kind of just made them just out of nowhere. He made a mod because of a joke I made. Like, straight up, he made a mod, and it's an okay mod. It's a pretty, for a joke mod, it's not supposed to be that impressive. It's actually kind of impressive. It's more impressive than some of the other mods I've seen. So yeah. I should probably actually help before I get kicked, because I'm kind of AFKing. But it just amazes me how much, like, people have done already, but how little it is. And I mean, I get it. The JSON mod file is kind of limiting. It is a limiting style of file. And that's kind of done on purpose. Because, like, it forces you to be a little creative with how you do your mods. But because you gotta, like, you can't have the files be too big, or it's not going to load properly, or you gotta limit them to what's mechanics that are somewhat already in the game, because you can't, you can make new things, because, like, Pepsi, I'm pronouncing his name wrong, and how the frick did those get destroyed? I wasn't paying attention. He's made something where what in the heck? Where one of the things he has, it's called the deionizer. It's a separator, but it takes an input, and the game currently really isn't designed for that to happen. It may be changed in a future update, but currently you can't do that. It's a no-no. But he did it anyways, and I tried to help him, and what I did didn't really work, because I tried to do something that was for generic crafter or smelter. And currently, it's like this, the best one to use is the generic crafter, because it's the one with the most freedom in what you can do with it. If I remember correctly, you can have that one take multiple kinds of things. However, you can't do like you do with the separator, which is have percentage chances of certain things coming out, which is kind of sucks, but yeah, is the way of things currently. It's just how the game operates. That may be changed, that may not be changed. At the current moment, we don't really know. We can't say. I don't know what Anuk's going to be doing with the modding system. He may leave it how it is. He may not. He probably won't, considering that it's not done. And if he does, I will be very sad. will be a sad boy. However, it can be classified as a done modding system. It is somewhat intuitive. It is somewhat easy to get into and is easy to use. However, it is limiting. It's kind of like iOS versus Android. Android tends to be more customizable, more for developers, more for video makers, more for like it's more customizable, but it's less direct. It's less intuitive, less not as it doesn't seem as customizable as iOS. You can make iOS look prettier, but you don't really change the base functionality. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. Most mods, they don't really change base functionality that much. It's basically more of the same. Like, I mean, some mods are capable of it. And the ones that really change how the game works are the ones that are APKs, like the IO mod, which kind of dropped off in popularity because it was mostly a reskin of the base game, kind of. It felt like that. It wasn't. There was a lot more. Like, I mean, it needed more weapons. I think that was the biggest thing, is it needed more weapons. Because that's like one of the biggest selling points of this game is the military aspect. Because without the waves aspect, without that, this is just Factorio, basically. It's Factorio, but less intuitive. And I mean, this game is strange in a lot of ways. It's very odd. Like, a lot of, why do you don't need that. You don't need this much power to power that. Oh. Okay, one thing I do is I do a lot of math. Math is my thing. Like, I just do math for fun sometimes. I know, I'm a masochist. But we don't need that because it's designed to be 60, and then these are 30, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 30. So if you can keep it all fueled, it'll be fine. And if you don't keep the silicon smelters fueled enough, then you'll have extra power. Because they don't use power when idle. I think that's one of the biggest thing that people don't understand anymore, is like, yes, conservative generators would be nice. However, they're not really necessary, considering most of the blocks, when they're not operating, they don't consume items. They don't consume power. Because, like, the air blast drill, yes, it has an idle power consumption of like 20. But that's not that great, considering its normal power use is 180. And I think that's another thing, is a lot of mods fail with the balancing. Like, they don't make things cost a reasonable amount, or they make things cost weird amounts. Like, I saw one mod where everything was super cheap, and it wasn't meant to be, kind of thing. It was like, that's not right. Or like, something that was super overpowered was completely free. Bepsi. Or Bepsis. I think that's how that person's name is pronounced. Oh, I need to check my phone. Plug my phone in. Anyways, how long have I been recording? I'm kind of rambling. Oh, I've been recording for 30 minutes. This is gonna be one of the ones where I have to stitch it together. Woo! So yeah, I think one large thing is don't think that mods are going to be redoing things, because the largest stable block that doesn't, that's like behaves like a block should. I call them blocks. They're not really blocks, they're buildings, but you know, whatever. It's kind of like how I call conveyors belts. It's just kind of like Factorio brain washing. But anyways, how it operates is it's just kind of like, what was it saying? Oh god. I feel like an idiot right now. Stable blocks. How the blocks operate right now is it's very much a case of below a 4x4 it's stable. So like the largest block is 4x4 in the base game. 5x5 tend to be stable. They're okay. They may have some problems here and there, like if you put the health too high, but that happens with a 1x1. It will glitch the frick out. Once you reload the game. However, a couple minutes in a Tau mech, and that's fixed, or a singular sprite drone, because how the healing works is it heals a percentage, not a set amount of hit points. So like, doesn't heal like, it's not like it heals 20 hit points, or else healing one of these would take forever. So yeah. So that's like one of the big things is you gotta remember that this is still an indie game. It will always be an indie game. I don't care. If it doesn't stay as an indie game, I might commit murder. Because honestly, this game is great as it is. And god damn it, we need more lead. Second we can afford an air blast, I'm gonna place down one on the lead. And is this enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I remember correctly, it was, I can't math right now. I'm fucking brain dead. Okay, what the frick happened here? I don't know. Mistakes, that's what. I can. Alright. You know what? This coal's going to power now. That's not what you were supposed to do. Anyways, how things tend to work in this is it takes a little while for updates to come out sometimes, and sometimes they'll come out really fast, and then other times they come out intermittently. And it is because it's mostly a singular developer. I mean, yes, if you go onto the Git, you'll see 5 point something thousand branches off of it. But that's the thing, is a lot of them are just that. Like, I have a branch of Mindustry. I've branched it off because I wanted to mess with things. I wanted to look at things. I wanted to experiment. And that's what what happens with a lot of it, is it just becomes somebody's play toy for a while. And that's fine. I mean, people can do that. They have every right to. He hasn't said no, not to. But at the same time, you gotta be aware, it's still mostly just one developer. I mean, yes, there is technically a development team, but it's not formal. You don't just kind of sign on and just do it. You it depends on whether or not you're available, because, like, I've helped, but it's very little. I've contributed very little to it. I've mostly been like, hey, these are bugs, please fix. Don't have to. Like, most of the bugs that I find actually aren't that important, because I don't find important bugs. Because, like, I found a Chromebook bug where the keyboard wasn't working properly, but it turns out that everyone had already figured that out. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people had already figured it out. So, what I did didn't really matter that much, because it was already people were already aware. However, I did help. I do try to help. And that's where I am useful to mods, because I provide feedback. I make them aware of their bugs. I make them aware of problems. I make them aware of inconsistency, as I've found. I figured out, like, I helped someone who has I swear they live on the exact opposite side of the earth as me, but, at least on the Mindustry Discord, their nickname is Spiked Ball, but, which is the guy that I got, or girl, I don't know, I'm not trying to assume people's gender, that I got their personal mod from, that isn't out yet at all. Like, they don't even have the Git open to the public. And I playtested it. I played around with it, and I was like, hey, so I think your bug problem, the problem that you have is there's no bullet speed. So, like, and that was the problem. Like, I have looked at his updated version some, and yeah, in fact, it was the problem. It's the only thorium on the map underneath that, I swear to God. If it is, I'm gonna cry. I've actually never played this map all the way through, because most of the time I just rage quit. Because honestly, I hate it. I've done basically nothing this entire match. Except for talk. So, like, oh god, no. Like, on the Discord, it's just kind of like, I've seen a much larger diversity in indie games than I do see with corporate games. Like, large corporate games, they're all American. I don't see that many corporate games from other places. I just don't. But then again, I am American. I am a U.S. citizen. But with Caves Roguelike, which I need to show off, and this game, like, I mean, I don't know where Anuk's from. He could be, I don't know. I just don't know. I've never found out. However, I do know that there is a good portion from Russia. There is a good portion, like, people who play this game and watch my and are on YouTube and watching my videos. There's a good portion from Russia. There's a good portion from Ukraine. There's a good portion from Egypt. There's people from Japan. There's people from Indonesia. There's people from India. There's people from everywhere except for Africa, apparently. Actually, no, that's not true. I have some viewers from Africa, but not as many as, you know, East Asia, for some reason. Southeast Asia, I should say. I don't have any viewers from China. I don't think my videos are shown in China. Sorry, Hong Kong. Also, when it comes down to it, like, mods are hard to make. They're hard to keep up with. They're hard to... Because, like, how adding on the Discord is done, it is hard to keep track of. It is just hard. Because there's a lot of re-releases with them. And, that's how the mods get shown off. That's how the mods get shown, is through releases. And, like, there are some mods with 30, 40 releases out, and they're hard to follow. Like, I mean, just objectively, they're hard to keep track of. And if you need help, ask on the Discord. There are plenty of people on there that are willing to help. I really do. If you don't have Discord, that's not a problem. I mean, there is a web page out for mods. I'll link it. Maybe. I don't know. If I remember, I'll link it. This video may be an hour long. Jesus Christ, I need help. However, for the most part, mods are they're still in their early phase. Like, there are definitely some that are well done, well, almost complete. Yes. However, still very early, very not fully done. Like, bitch, protect. So, like, just be careful. Be careful on the internet. Careful in life. Oh god, my mom wants me. I'll do that. So, like, just be patient with mods. Be patient with and be patient with modders. It takes time. It's not going to happen instantaneously. Be patient. Bitch, why? The modding community is still small. But with all that said, I need to go. This has been Combat Archer, along with commentary about mods, with some multiplayer gameplay in the background. Signing off.